Welcome back again, students. Today's session will be part 2 of drawing the auxiliary first eminent molar. This is from the buccal aspect. You have to draw the name of the aspect on the lower part of the swab. You can see the two buccal cusp, the mesiobuccal and the distobuccal cusp. From start, you have to draw the outline of the crown, the cusp slopes, and the area where the two cusps meets buccally. This is from the lingual aspect. You have to draw the relation of the mesiolingual cusp, as we said, 3/5 and 2/5 for the distobuccal cusp. This is from the buccal aspect after you made the first cut. This is from the lingual aspect. You can see the two cusps and the mesiolingual, the distolingual cusp, and the area between the two cusps. You have to open between the two buccal cusp from the start. This is how it looks like after you made the cutting or separate the buccal cusps from the lingual cusp. The area between the two buccal cusps and the two lingual cusps, they are separated from the start. This is the first cut. From the lingual mesial side, the distance, this is the mesial side. You have to draw the outline of the mesial aspect, the distobuccal and the distolingual cusp. The maximum contour buccally and the maximum contour lingually. And the area of the marginal ridge. You can see how now that the two cusps are separated. Look occlusally, you can see here the four cusps, and each one is separated from the other. They look like four pyramids. In the roundation state, the distobuccal line angle is the one that we have to take most of it. This is the distobuccal line angle. We have to take most of this line angle. And then the distolingual, then the mesiolingual, and this is the mesiobuccal line angle. You have to take the corners to obtain the rhomboidal shape of the occlusal outline form of the crown. Mark the position of the mesiolingual cusp because it is the reference cusp for you. You can see the four pyramids representing the four cusps. This mark for the mesiolingual cusp, the biggest, the largest, and the highest of all, and the cusp where we have the cusp of Carabelli. As you can see here, we have two developmental grooves, one on the lingual and one on the buccal. The first one on the lingual side starts from between the two lingual cusps, runs occlusally, and then go between the two lingual cusps to the central groove to the distal marginal ridge. The second groove on the buccal side between the two buccal cusps at the center of the crowns goes occlusally between the two buccal cusps, the mesiobuccal and distobuccal, to the occlusal and then to the distal marginal ridge. This is the buccal developmental groove from the center of the crown occlusally between the two buccal cusps to the mesial marginal ridge. You have to draw two circles opposing each other. This is the first developmental groove, one from the center of the lingual side occlusally to the distal marginal ridge. It is a part of a circle. And the second one is from the center of the buccal side, runs occlusally between the two buccal cusps to the mesial marginal ridge. This is the center of the crown buccally. Goes occlusally to the mesial marginal ridge. You can see here the first premolar, which we have carved and drawn in the previous sessions. We have buccal cusp and lingual cusp, the ridge between them, we call it the transverse ridge. Put it near the occlusal, put it near the first molar, cover the distal half of the crown, the two cusps on the medial side, the mesiobuccal and the mesiolingual, carve them as if they are a premolar. The mesiobuccal cusp with the mesiolingual cusp The same steps that you have done for the premolar, do them for this two cusp or the mesial half of the crown. You have to draw the central groove, two lines horizontal, and the mesial marginal ridge on the distal side, and one at the center, and then draw the outline number 8. Occlusal. This is occlusally, you can see two areas, two circles opposing each other, the developmental groove. The two cusps on the mesial side, treat them as they are premolar. Now you can see number 8 in Arabic, vocally and lingually, the two lines at the side of the two mesial cusps, is vocal and the mesiolingual. From the center, 45 degrees to the right, to the left. On the vocal side, the same thing, 45 degrees to the right, to 45 to the left. So you have the mesovocal, the mesiolingual, carve them as if they are a premolar of the first molar. From the center to the right, from the center to the left, at 45 degrees. This is at the center. Go mesially, 45 degrees. Once again at the center to the left, 45 degrees, following the lines that you have drawn. Take the excess. Move to the lingual cusp or the other cusp, the same thing. From the center to the right, from the center to the left at 45 degrees, following the lines that you have drawn. By this you will get the two transverse ridges, two triangular ridges, or the two mesiovocal and mesiolingual cusps, which will give us the transverse ridge of the first molar. The distal side of the mesiolingual cusp with the distobuccal cusp will give us the oblique ridge. Then you have to carve the mesial triangular fossa, deepen it and carve it. This the mesial marginal ridge and the mesial triangular fossa, you have to mark it and carve it. Central developmental groove. The distolingual cusp is convex and it is rounded, and the triangular ridge runs toward the center of the crown. The distolingual cusp, this is the distolingual cusp. The same thing. Make line to the center of the crown and right and go 45 degrees to the right and 45 degrees to the left. This is the mesiolingual cusp. You have to go to reduce all the other cusps 2 millimeters. So you will have the mesiolingual cusp is the highest of all. So take from the tip of the mesovocal, distobuccal, distolingual 2 millimeters, make them shorter, and keep the mesiolingual cusp higher by 2 millimeters. This is the mesiolingual cusp, the mesovocal, distobuccal, and distolingual. You can see the mark for the mesiolingual cusp. You have to go 6 millimeters from mesiolingual cusp and draw the cusp of Carabelli and carve. The mesiolingual cusp should be higher than the other cusp by 2 millimeters. So you have to reduce from all the other cusps. This is the this is the lingual developmental groove, the vocal developmental groove. These are distal marginal ridges. Oblique, the transverse ridges, the cusp of Carabelli. This is the cusp of Carabelli. This is after you have marked the Carabelli and carved it like an arrow. This is the cusp of Carabelli on the lingual cusp on the side. This is how it looks from the side. You can see it from the lingual side. This is the mesial aspect. This is the cusp of Carabelli. The maximum contour lingually, the maximum contour buccally, the cervical line. This is the cusp of Carabelli. Transverse ridge, oblique ridge, the mesial marginal ridge, the distal marginal ridge, the lingual developmental groove, the buccal developmental groove. This is from the distal aspect. You can see the buccal developmental groove from the center of the crown occlusally between the two buccal cusps. This is from the lingual aspect, the lingual developmental groove occlusally between the two lingual cusps. And you can see the cusp of Carabelli. It is 6 mm from the tip of the mesolingual cusp. This is the lingual, this is the mesolingual cusp, and this is the cusp of Carabelli. From the distal aspect, this is shorter than the mesial marginal ridge, the cervical line 0, the distal marginal ridge. This is the mesial aspect. You can see the cusp of Carabelli, the cervical line, the mesolingual cusp is higher than the other cusp, the mesial marginal ridge. This is occlusally. You can see the occlusal table. The crown is rhomboidal, and all the features of the occlusal table. This is the triangular ridge of the mesolingual cusp. You can see it is like a pyramid. The two cusps on the mesial side like a premolar, the triangular ridges. You cover the distal half and make the mesial half of the crown like a premolar. See the occlusal table, the transverse ridge, the oblique ridge, and the cusp of Carabelli.